All right, welcome to another episode of
Rye
Rye
can't top
Can
my
Tiny.
knee.
We are a boys love podcast that talks about our favorite BL shows and all the drama surrounding them.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Kevin. And how was your weekend? And what did you do, Jonathan?
This weekend was so busy because it's your birthday weekend.
Ah! It sure was. Yes, it was. I'm very happy to be older, closer to a certain number of years on this planet than people actually imagine.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. And then I think some people don't realize that today is my actual birthday. Today, Sunday.
I know.
Because
Happy birthday.
I thank you. Like I think a lot of the people who I got to see yesterday, um, a lot of people thought my birthday was yesterday, but that's okay. I mean, I think when you get over 30, like I am, wherever, whenever you celebrate your birthday is going to be your birthday, as long as you turn that next age that year.
I mean, when it's my birthday, I make it a whole month. A
Right.
whole.
I mean,
It's a
I
whole
have
thing.
some gifts coming for the rest of the year.
Yes.
Yes, I do. Um, with that said, let's get into the word on the tweet.
Okay, word on the tweet. Let's see. There wasn't too much drama this week, but how about we start with I think Monday they dropped like a little teaser for 4 minutes. That new Beyond Cloud show that we've been waiting for.
Oh, yes. And I did see that little teaser.
A little
Uh,
spicy teaser.
yes, with Bible. We got to
Saw
saw.
some buns.
Yes, I was going to say we saw some ass crack, but same thing. Uh, and who is this new partner?
I know I'm surprised. I mean, they waited a long while to really find his replacement after, the whole build situation over at Beyond Cloud.
Yeah, and could we talk a little bit about Build? Because it seems
Mm.
as if, you know, they had I guess what people don't know about the situation with Build is
Mhm.
he and his ex-girlfriend, hopefully ex-girlfriend, had a really bad breakup where I believe there was some physicality in that. Like this seems to be a reoccurring theme with some of these BL actors that their real life they actually end up having a girlfriend, and in some cases the relationships are very abusive.
Yeah, it
Uh,
seems kind of both sided, but
right,
then it got more toxic because I think she was one of the producers on Kim Porsche or something.
right,
So there's like a power dynamic in that when she's the producer on the show you're working on.
yeah, that's a mess. But Build, I think, is trying to rebuild his image because I guess he's trying to distance himself from that because that happened
Mhm.
what, early last year maybe.
No, that was like, oh my god, time's flying. I feel like that was Kim Porsche is probably like 2021, right?
It was 2022, and
Oh,
then
2022.
but I
So
think
probably 2021 up until like when the show was airing.
right, the show came out in 2022, but I think the information came out in early 2023 about the with Build and his
Mm.
ex, I think.
Yeah, around when they finished their little tour for their Kim Porsche on the road thing
Right, and they
that
did
never got done globally. And they said they were coming to America and it never happened.
never did, and I was waiting for that because I was trying to sneak around a Poe. But anyway,
To see your man in person.
right. I saw my substitute last night anyway, but
Oh my god. Your twin, your name twin.
my name twin. What else is going on?
Let's see. So the show Red P Foul, the series. Apparently there's some drama around that because apparently they dropped the trailer like a year ago, months ago. When was that?
It was last year, but it was like late last year. I think maybe September or October.
Yeah, and apparently none of the actors know when this show is actually coming out. The main guy wrote on Twitter that the show is a scam and that he's distancing himself from the whole production.
Ooh, child, not a scam. Lord have mercy. Not
That's
a
so
scam.
messy.
That is messy. And then didn't Mac come out with something like a
Yeah,
couple
Mech.
days ago?
Yeah, Mech was also like, yeah, I haven't heard anything in 4 months. I would love to have the show produced, but like we'll see. I haven't heard anything.
I
Um,
guess our conclusion is this show is not happening.
I feel like they got too ambitious because they had a lot of big names in there from a bunch of different like companies.
Yes. Yes. I mean, we saw a lot of familiar faces, and that sounds like a lot of money. And the show was meant to be high budget. And
Yeah, it looked very
maybe
high budget.
maybe they didn't have the budget. Maybe they should do is sell it to one of those bigger companies, that actually has the money. Not GMMTV, because some of the people in that had left GMMTV.
Oh, true. Yeah, Meg,
Right.
former TMMTV. They were gonna have Frank.
Right.
Who else was gonna be in this? So many
Max.
people. Oh, Coolheart was gonna be in this.
Yep.
Then they have Matt from Matt's Toll.
Yeah. So I don't think the show's happening. But maybe it could be a Beyond Cloud thing.
I don't know. Beyond Cloud takes forever to produce their own shows, but I mean, they
But
did.
when they produce a show,
I
it comes out
know.
pretty good. So, and I think, the person who could bankroll it is Mile, but he'll probably want to be in it. And if he's going
As
to
he
be in it,
should.
Apo has to be in it too, right? As he
I
should.
feel like they would fit right into that. It was kind of like a Kim Porsche type dupe show.
Right. Right. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well, now let's get into our shows of the week. So, what is your show of the week?
My show of the week is The Unknown.
Oh my gosh. I love that show. Like, I do. And I
We
almost
just
had it
we
as
just
mine.
saw it. Yeah, it's uh we just discovered it last weekend. We binged
Yeah.
all like 3 episodes.
Right. And I knew the show was out for a while, and I've been saying, oh, I'm going to watch it. But, we've been caught up with other shows, like too many other shows, and a lot of them had just ended. Thank goodness. So now we have space to involve other shows. And I wish I started watching the show earlier,
Hmm.
because it's really good.
It's really good.
And I think so far, I think I could say it might be the best Taiwanese show that I've seen in a
Oh,
long time.
really?
I
Maybe
mean,
in a long time.
yeah, like, let's really consider how the cinematography is pretty good. It's a great, complicated, complex story, but with
Yeah, it's
good
a very
flow.
deep, complex story.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on that keeps me intrigued.
And it's from the same people that I think produced We Best Love and My Tooth Your Love. If you ever seen those two
I
Taiwanese
have seen
shows.
We Best Love, which is actually my top Taiwanese BL.
Really? I've
Yes,
only seen the first season.
I've seen both, and I would say both of them together makes it my top Taiwanese one because it's beautifully
Mm.
done.
Yeah, people really do love that series.
Yeah, it's beautifully done and has a few of the tropes, but it has something extra to it as well.
Hmm.
I so this sounds like they took it to the next level because this doesn't feel tropey at all.
Yeah, the only tropey thing I would say is I don't know, this like Taiwan likes to do this kind of storyline where it's like you have this like found family or like
Hmm.
distant family that you end up falling in love with. I don't know.
Yeah, I
There's
mean,
this like
as
stepbrother, half brother, I don't know, best friend storyline that's going on here. Kind of father son too.
yeah, but no blood relation whatsoever.
Of course, never any blood relation, but just a hint of familial. I don't know.
It's chosen family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But this is better than History 4.
Which I'm like halfway through right now because I really just I just felt like I had to get it out the way.
I Good
I mean,
luck.
I'm watching it for the other couple.
I would have to say, History 4 is, maybe we could talk about that in a future podcast, but it's one of the worst BLs ever. And it
No.
is and it is a train wreck that you just keep watching because it's just so bad. But somehow you're entertained because it's really bad. uh Child, we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
Yeah.
can of worms.
Yes. But overall, your take on the unknown is a win.
Amazing, show
Yeah.
stopping, never
Yes.
done it before.
Yes. Yes. My show of the week is Although I Love You and You, a Japanese BL that it's almost over. There's one episode left that's coming out next week.
Oh, really? It's 8 episodes? I thought it
It
was 10.
is 10. So
Oh,
episode
it's 10.
9 came out yesterday, Friday.
Mm.
So it's a pretty good show. It At first I wasn't sure what direction it was going to go. I will
Yeah,
say you
until they
need to
really
catch
brought in the ex-boyfriend. That's what really.
right. I will say you need to watch episode 9 because I definitely yelled at the TV. And I'm someone who talks to the television during a show as if
Oh, same,
as if the
same.
character, is going to listen to what I'm saying, you know. Uh, but I really am liking the flow of the show. I would not say it's my top Japanese BL. I think I already
Yeah,
told you, which,
same. I wouldn't
yeah,
say it's the best, but it's
right.
entertaining.
It is entertaining. It is well done. I do like the whole cast. I mean, still my favorite Japanese BL is The Pornographer and Mood
Oh,
Indigo combined.
you're not a Cherry Magic
Oh, I love
stan?
Cherry Magic. That's a beautiful one too. But if you want something that feels adult and
Mm,
actually has sex scenes that truly add to the plot and are not just there to be gratuitous, the
not just there
pornographer,
for the girls.
right? The Pornographer and Mood Indigo, which you could watch in either order because The Pornographer is what came out first, but Mood Indigo is a prequel to The
Mm.
Pornographer. So you can watch it in either order.
And it's the same actors?
Same actor, same story. All of it's just that Mood Indigo is like I think 10 years prior to The Pornographer.
Mm.
So
Is it
it
called The
gives
Pornographer or The Novelist? Or
it
maybe it has
depends
two
on
names.
it's either one. It depends on who
I
you
see.
talk to because I think the translation in from Japanese
Japanese.
to English is The Pornographer, but I
Mm.
think to be palatable
Yeah, they're gonna
to
call it The Novelist
right,
on Viki.
yeah, because the main character writes pornographic books.
Mm.
Hence why he is a novelist. He's just a novelist that writes
Writes a
porn.
good smut.
Yeah. So, but it's very well done and a really good story. Not suitable for children.
Mm-hmm.
So, but worth watching for sure. But I would say with Although I Love You and You, if you have a kid in the room, for people who are BL fans that have children, I think it's okay.
Yeah, there's
It's
nothing too spicy. It's very.
no, not too spicy, but a good story, good
Mm-hmm.
pacing. Um, I wouldn't say groundbreaking, no groundbreaking cinematography, but good
Nothing groundbreaking.
cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it, and I'm curious, and I'm looking forward to the last episode.
To
But
the finale next week.
yes, next week. But there is one show
That
that,
just finished
yes,
today.
it did, and woo!
Oh my
Let's go
god, I was
ahead.
screaming.
Oh Lord, have mercy, mercy. DFF.
Yes, Dead Friend Forever just finished.
What do you think about the show? What do we think about the show overall without
I mean,
spoiling
what
the
would you rate it?
ending?
What would you rate it?
Whew.
No, we have to spoil the ending. We have to give a little disclaimer.
So I guess we're gonna have a spoiler alert. So, okay, I would definitely give it. I'll give it an 8 out of 10, maybe even a 9 out of 10.
Mm. I mean, I'm not a horror like thriller fan, but like this was done really well, and the
Yes,
acting's really like just for Barcode. This show was like a 9 out of 10.
Barcode definitely he did his thing. Okay, like no one can tell him nothing. He is now a baddie.
Like he
Okay,
owns Beyond Cloud. Like he's keeping the light on up
he
there.
is
Like that's
keeping the light on.
crazy.
He did what he needed to do. Okay, he really showed his ass, and his ass looks good. So good
Oh my
job for
god.
him. Like he
No.
really did. He did a good job. Okay, this young whippersnapper who I think is what 19 or 20.
Yeah, I think he just turned like 19. He's still like a baby, but he was
Yeah,
acting down. Oh my god.
yeah. He did what he needed to do. He was asked and what to do, and he delivered. Okay, like
The
he really
finale was
did.
traumatic.
It was.
Like I
And
was covering my eyes half the time. I could not
why
see.
were
Like
you
this was
covering your eyes, Jonathan?
there was like a viewer discretion on the screen in Thai. I was
Yes,
like,
there
I cannot watch
was.
this.
Yes, there was. And I have to go to the ending, like the very last 5 minutes. Because I
Mm,
think, and this is going to be the big spoiler. So for people, first of all, anybody who has Aichi needs to watch this show.
yes, please.
You need to watch it. Again, if this is your first time hearing about BL, which I highly doubt that's any of our listeners, but maybe in the future there might be.
Yeah, if this is your
Maybe
first time, do not start with this show.
do not start with this show because this
Unless
is
you're like a horror movie lover,
right.
then go
But
on
in
ahead. This is your cup of tea.
right. And in this case, I feel as if this is advanced level. So if you're a beginner, we already told you which one you can start for this year, which is like City of Stars if you're a beginner. But there's some other stuff too that is out there that it's good for beginners to kind of, dip their toes in for a Thai BL. This is not it. This one is the deep end.
I mean,
Way in the deep
honestly,
end.
this one doesn't even need to be classified as a BL. Honestly, because
It doesn't need to be.
like it's not even
It just happens to
yeah,
have gay characters.
yeah. This one could kind of step out the category. Honestly,
Yeah, because it's
like
that
how
good. And it's
yeah, the
that
romance isn't the
different.
main. I guess it is, but it's not the main focus.
Yeah, romance is a theme. And I think it's very important to the plot because there's a lot of heartbreak that leads to where we're at now. So let me go into the ending because
So
I
the
have
spoiler,
to talk
spoiler.
about it. I have to spoil it. So
What's
we
your theory?
know I haven't looked at what other people's theories are, but I think first there's going
Did
to
they
be a
make it
season
out the
two.
house?
I don't think they made it out the house. I really don't think they did. I think Jin and P are hallucinating. And I
Mm-hmm.
also think T is hallucinating as well. And part of the reason why I believe that is not only from what P said, because P seems to be, out of everyone that has been hallucinating, the most lucid.
Mm-hmm. Because I
Okay.
guess he's taken the drug before. Like he's like sampled it a little bit with
Right.
the
And he
brother
was
with
able
Hero.
to tell himself, I know that I'm hallucinating,
Mm-hmm.
and that was not the same with everyone else. I think he has sensed that they haven't left the house. I believe they haven't left the house. Also, to add to that, I think T is still stuck in the fact that he killed White.
I know I was gagged. White didn't deserve to
He
die.
really didn't. I almost cried at that part because I was like, White didn't do anything. I also almost cried when New was going to kill himself because then he finally realized in the hallucination that he had hurt some innocent people who did nothing to his brother at all.
Mm.
So I felt kind of bad for him because
I
this
mean,
is
I feel
my
bad for him
perspective.
this whole time, even while he's like having these guys kill each other. I'm still like low key
Right.
rooting for him.
Yeah,
Like they're
I
all like,
mean,
Non wouldn't want this, and I'm like, Non kind of wanted this. I don't know.
kind of, but I don't think he would have not like that. I think he wanted justice, not for them to be dead. You know what I'm saying? Because justice, I don't think in most cases equals death. And
Of course, but Non wasn't exactly mentally sane
no,
towards
and
the end of his
but
life.
no, but of course he wasn't. I mean, he endured so much trauma because of the way these guys used and abused him.
Ugh.
And of course, he's not going to be mentally stable. And knew having to find out that not only is his brother is missing, but the fact that his brother had been missing really destroyed his family.
I know
And
the
he was
mother, the father. Ah.
right. Yeah. So I understood New's state of mind because
Mhm.
all of that mess that those guys created destroyed an entire family and destroyed lives because they were selfish and greedy. And they would prefer to use somebody instead of just doing the right thing from the beginning. If they did the right thing from the beginning, none of this would have happened. Because what killed the ones who were guilty was their guilt.
Yes, they're all of their personal hells that they went through.
Right. Their guilt manifested in their hallucinations, which caused them to kill themselves or kill each other.
I know Top being the one that I didn't realize that. Yeah, he was also helping. He was working with T a little bit to help them open accounts. Like he knew about it,
Oh, yeah, of course he knew about it
and then he
because,
blamed the camera breaking on Non.
right, which is what started everything, was that.
Ugh.
Hmm.
And
So
then who? What's his name? What's his name? I forgot his name. Fluke. Oh my god.
Fluke
I had to cover
was
my eyes.
Fluke was the bystander. First of all, wait,
He was a
hold on.
bystander that then
Who did
stranded
nothing
them.
and knew everything that was happening, but did
Hmm.
not stand up and say no. And I think what's symbolic is he stabbed himself in the eye,
He wanted
in
to be,
both eyes.
yeah, wanted to be a doctor,
But
and
the symbolism with that is he was the bystander who pretended not to see anything.
yes,
Yeah. And now can't. He blinded himself because he chose to be blind. He chose to be blind. It's not because it was all happening in front of him. And instead of standing up, he didn't. Jen, think about it. The one thing that he hallucinated about was exposing the video, but he himself being exposed.
mm,
And that was really the only thing he did because every other time, Jen stood up for Non.
yeah, maybe not
Uh,
enough, but
but not enough, right? And then he stood up for him because he had a crush on him. And then
hmm,
he got mad and then found that bit and then
did a
found
terrible thing. Yeah, spread that
terrible.
video.
Yeah, which made things worse. But also, here's another theory I have. So in the hallucination that was at the end, where P and Jen are talking, and P sees Non walking
Hmm.
into the water.
Yeah, if you hear the audio right there, like you hear the like lighter spark audio, as
Mm-hmm.
if like yeah, they're still in the hallucination. Like everyone says like if you go back to the beginning of the episode where it shows New like lighting it up while they're all on the ground,
Yeah.
like that's the actual ending of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think also we get a little hint to where Non's body is
Oh, you think it's
because
in the water?
I think it's in the water.
Mm.
I think that's where they dumped his body because we know at this point he's dead.
They're
But I
all dead. They're
they're
all
yeah,
dead.
they're all dead. I mean, but well, if P and Jen and T are still hallucinating, they're not
I think
dead.
they're just like the last people that are slowly hallucinating in the house, but they're still going to die in that house. Like they're never
Probably.
leaving that house.
Yeah, I don't think they're leaving. I well, or maybe they will because do you think there will be a season 2?
No, I don't. I
You
think
don't?
they're wrapping it up like that. Like they wanted to kind of have an open ending.
I think so too, but I guess do you want a season 2?
Hmm. Would I want a season 2? I feel like we need to put Non to rest. Let Barcode play a cute little storyline for once. I He's gone through so much.
Well, he's going to with Jeff Sator.
Oh yeah, with
Yeah,
the Wuju Bakery.
yes, that's the Korean slash Thai production that's coming out later this month.
They never gave a date. They said like April maybe. I don't know. They keep moving it.
Yeah, so that's apparently coming out. So we will get one allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So I don't think we need a season 2. Close this chapter.
well, if we get a season 2, the earliest would be sometime next year. It won't be this year. I mean,
Yeah.
because I mean the show just ended, so there's no way
Mm-hmm.
that they're going to have a season 2 done by the end of this year. So it's going to be sometime next year, if at all.
If at all. But I don't know. I think there's not
I
enough
don't think
story
they're
to
going to do
tell.
one.
Yeah.
Or maybe there is more story to tell. Because the one place where, if they want to give the audience closure, which I will say this, I'm fine with the ending as
Mm-hmm.
is. So if we don't get a season 2, I will be comfortable because I actually like endings that keep you thinking and talking.
Mm-hmm.
However, I know not all people like that. So part of me is thinking if they do a season 2, the story would be finding Nan's body. So Barcode would barely be in it, maybe in some flashbacks, but it focused more on P and Jen. Maybe they get out the house, and then there is an investigation, and that whole. And the thing is, they probably think P and Jen might have been the ones to perpetrate, and then it's them really figuring out how to get out of the mess that they kind of created, but really it wasn't them who did all the killing.
I know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe a
Yeah,
special
so
episode. I don't
it
know
could
if
be a
it
special
needs a season
episode.
2, but a special episode where we see them deeper into this hallucination and we really have to see what the real ending is. Like maybe I
Yeah.
don't know. Like trip us up a little bit.
Or
Some
maybe
more.
New goes to jail. Maybe he's still alive as well too.
They all need to go to jail.
Yeah, who but the thing is somebody going to go to jail. I think T is going to go crazy for sure.
Yeah, they're all
Like,
in their own personal hell. T is in his he's going insane just like his father, which is kind of sad. But
right.
also like does he deserve it? I
I
don't
don't
know. Don't feel that
know.
bad for him.
Like, I
But
feel bad, but also it's kind of like he created the mess as well. Like
yeah, I
he
don't feel
was
bad
the
for Mike.
main person who created the mess.
Hmm.
So, but I feel bad for him because he was trying to turn a new leaf.
Yeah.
And
But I mean he's still stuck with these shitty friends.
right, and that's
Like he should
another
have ditched
thing.
them all and really separated himself after the whole non thing. You're really gonna stay with these guys after you all like kind of
Right,
like destroyed a man's life, destroyed a man's whole family. You really gonna
right.
stay together as a group?
That's him and Jen. Because I was always thinking, like, Jen, why are you hanging
I
around
mean,
these
he
people?
was about to leave. This weekend was supposed to be his going away party because he's going to
Oh,
America.
that's right. And I wouldn't have had a going away party with them.
Literally, but P was the one that was like, "No, come back. We need to see you one more time."
And we know why, because he was trying to get to the bottom of what happened to its bottom.
Oh my god. uh,
Anywho, we gotta
Anywho,
move on because guess what? We got a new show alert.
yes.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, so Deep Night came out on Thursday on
Deep Night the
iQIYI.
series.
Yes, it's Thursdays on iQIYI, and it's another nightclub BL, but with a supernatural element allegedly. I have
Oh,
not seen that
really?
yet, allegedly. And there is another nightclub BL that we have talked about last week called Waste of Time, the series.
Oh my god. Was there
And
really a nightclub BL?
they're in a host club or a nightclub or whatever they're in, but it's just bad that you kind of forget.
Oh.
Anyway, so
Anyway.
according to the description of our favorite site, My Drama List, Countess is the beloved son of Madame Freya, the owner of Deep Night Club, the top host club in the country. Its stunning acrobatic shows differentiated them from any other. Countess is fascinated by the top tier host Willa. Getting closer, however, brings about obstacles. They aren't the only ones bringing color to the club. They're joined by Seiji, Ken, Great, DJ James, and the Sunny Waiter, Japan. And did you watch the first episode yet?
I did. I just watched it. It was really good.
Yeah, I told you because I was like, you could see the building blocks for the plot of what this
Hmm.
show is going to be about, but also there's a little bit of mystery on what direction it's going to go.
Yeah, I try to stay away from trailers because some trailers really like expose the whole entire plot, and I really just want to
Yes,
go in blind. And like this,
yes.
I'm going in blind, and yeah, I'm excited to see what's happening.
Me too. And I really enjoyed this first episode. I believe people should go ahead and give it a try. So far, I haven't seen any nakedness. So if
Oh
you're
my.
going in for that, you're probably not going to see it, but you
Hmm.
are going to get a good story and you're going to see some men, doing acrobatics.
Yes. Have you ever seen Mama Gogo?
I have not.
Like GMMTV's version of like a host club. You should watch it. It's not a BL, but it has
I
like
know.
Joss, um,
Earth.
Pod, Earth. Yes,
I
like you see a
know.
bunch of dancing in that. Like it's very
Yes.
similar to this show, but this show obviously is like
It's
centered
more
around like
BL. Yeah.
yeah, it is a BL.
Yeah.
And this guy, what's his name? Wella, the character. This guy was in War of Y. Did you see War
Oh,
of Y?
I have not seen War of Y, and it's on my list to watch.
Yeah, he was in War of Y. I think he was really good in that show. Like, I'm surprised to see him in this. I think he's in a new ship though. This
Okay,
is a new ship.
then I think I should go ahead and give War of Y a. That might be something that I'll watch during the week because so far a lot of the BLs that are out are kind of
On
bunched
the
on Thursday,
weekend,
Friday,
yes.
and Saturday. Actually, I don't think we have a Saturday BL anymore because now that DFF is done, I don't think there's any that are coming out on a Saturday for now. And then Osan's Love Returns is also done. They're the special episodes that I still need to watch. Um, and then, then we have The Unknown on Sundays. So I might be able to fill this one in. And yeah. Anyway, we got a main topic today, which people have seen what the title of this episode is: bad wigs. Child, in the 150 plus BLs that we have watched, one thing that is a constant is a wig, and it is usually bad.
Really bad.
Jonathan, I know because we talked about this sometime during the week. I know you are convinced that there is a wig for rent, like a pass around whole
Oh
rent
my
boy.
god. There has to be.
Yeah, I.
There has to be. Like it's on retainer. Like it's on someone's shelf in one of these studios.
Because that thing is raggedy.
It's so dry, it's so tired. It's been cut a billion
It's
times.
synthetic. It's. I think they sew in a synthetic track that they've ordered from Timu,
Stop. Temu.
maybe Amazon. and just sew that in every time they need to do a cut. I think about the one we saw in Until We Meet Again.
Yes, Jaws wig, his little ponytail.
It was
It
so
was so
unnecessary, and
unnecessary.
it looked like a hat.
It
It
was so
literally was
unnecessary.
a
It was
hat.
floating. Yeah, it was floating on his head.
Oh gosh, it was so bad.
There's
And
no lace, there's nothing. It's just floating.
right, Party City. It was so bad. And was there one in Love Syndrome?
Yeah, it's Frank. You don't remember
Oh
Frank's wig in Love Syndrome?
yes.
This
Oh
is like
gosh.
he had like two in that show because he had his like water wig that can get wet in the shower and in the river, and then he had his like regular little like side swoop wig.
You know what? They need some either Korean or African American wig installers to be flown out to Thailand because, you know, listen,
Listen,
Koreans know how to get that lace laid and get that lace melted to then you can't tell because they do it all the time in K-pop videos. And we know the people that like, in the US, like I think of Tokyo Styles who does Cardi B's wig and all of that. That thing is melted to the skin. Like you can't tell it's a wig. You know it's a wig. You just can't tell it's a wig. And
I guess it's too much money. Maybe I don't know. These Thailand's really popping out these shows with like I don't know with like a $30 budget sometimes.
sometimes, and I guess they
Like
put
unless
money
it's
elsewhere.
GMMTV with like a lot of sponsors, some of these shows are really just rocking like one sponsor that's willing to give them like a location maybe. That's why
Right.
they're using the same wig front and
Oh,
back.
I I just think about how disturbed I was because with Until We Meet Again, great show, but the one thing that stood out more than it should have is that wig. And I think about how they could have just given him extensions if he needed a ponytail instead of putting that hat on his head.
I
And
don't
maybe that would have
know.
looked a little better.
It made no sense. He was a police officer too, wasn't he?
Uh
In
yeah,
that
maybe an
show.
I don't remember. Was he a detective?
Yeah, he was a police officer because the family were police officers. So this is the same wig in 1,000 years. What is that vampire show that you're watching?
Oh yeah,
That
a
we're both
thousand years
watching.
old. That we're both watching, but I'm watching a little bit more because I'm caught up. Um, well, I will say, did you wait? What episodes did you watch? Just the first two?
No, I think I'm on episode 3. They just decided to like keep the like blood soup stand on the roof.
Yeah, yeah, and there's no wig anymore. The wig
I don't
is
know.
gone.
I feel like that's still a wig. I don't
No,
know.
I don't think that's a wig. I think his hair is just kind of oily, and
His hair is just
I think what they do is they take a flat iron and then they put a little bit of oil on his head, and then he's also sweating because it's Thailand.
true. I mean, he
Yes,
has his little fan. He has little.
right. So I think that's what that is. Um,
I
but
don't know. Are there
there was
other?
some wigness in the
Yeah.
first two episodes for sure, especially with those flashbacks with that mullet wig.
Oh yes. Yeah. He has like 4 in the show. Then
Hmm.
every
Yeah,
little era, he has a new hairstyle. They're so bad.
yeah, and it's so bad. And those wigs are wigging really badly. Oh Lord, I'm just tired of seeing those wigs. I think what they need to do next is just don't do them. You don't have to do them. It's okay. And if you're gonna do them, get a really good wig to convince us it's not a wig. I will be able to tell, but I can tell if it's a good wig or a bad wig. And just use a good
I
one.
don't
Okay.
know. Just change the hairstyle up. Give us like a comb over,
Yeah.
a comb, like slick it back. I don't know.
Yeah.
We
Do
don't need
something
this.
different. If you're really trying to show like different eras, you can change the hair based on the length they have to a different hairstyle instead of putting a hat on their head, a stringy hat.
A mop girl,
I'm not.
a duster.
Mm. Okay, well, that is enough for today. We gotta go. We got stuff to do. And thank you for tuning in for another episode of Ride Can Top My Knee. Be safe and have your knee wigged and not topped. Or topped.
Not
whatever.
wigged. Oh my God. I hope the ride in your life can top your knee.
Yes. Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye.